Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Anna. Welcome to my channel. If you love makeup and fashion, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Today we're reviewing another Juvia's Place palette. This one just launched a few days ago. If you follow me or you saw, I did buy the Nubian Royal palette and I absolutely loved it. It is an all purple palette and it is a small one. There are only 6 shades, but the mattes blended flawlessly and I love the interesting duochrome shades and the glitters are really good as well. So go check out my first impressions if you are interested in this palette. But since I loved that palette so much, when they launched the new Wahala 2 palette, I had a little bit of some concerns because there are a lot of very similar shades in this palette and I will show them to you. So I can't even lie, like so many of my mutuals on Instagram I saw like, what is this? What, these 2 rows like look like the same exact color repeating and this is like all gray, like what is going on? And while I did swatch a few and can say that some of them are indeed similar, I still was wanting to try it because all the textures just really drew me in, and also there is an actual multi-chrome in this palette which you don't really see in more affordable palettes. But not only that, you really do have to pay a lot for a true multi-chrome. They can range anywhere from $10 to $20. So for it to be in a $38 palette is kind of a big deal, and it is this one right here. But you do get so many textures, which is why I think this palette is just fun. Even though there are some similar shades in there, you get some very intense glitters, you get this awesome multi-chrome which is slippery and perfect. It's just perfect. The mattes blend really well, and then you get some duochromes as well, and I just feel like it's very unique even though there are some shades that are pretty repetitive. For instance, I've swatched these 2 grays and they pretty much, you can't really tell the difference between the 2 grays. This white one does have a little bit of a gold undertone to it, and then this is more of just a white. But honestly, between the 3 of these on the eye, you can't tell a huge difference. And then there is also these all these blue matte shades, and you can tell a little bit of a difference but between Wicked, but these 2 honestly look very similar on the eyes. And then also between these duochromes, they're gorgeous, like Bold and Nawaho. They are stunning, but they look pretty similar too. One almost, so there is like this really beautiful blue, intense blue color, and then really intense purple color, and one of the duochromes almost looks like they literally took both of those colors and made kind of a duochrome out of it. So then they just look so similar. Like, I just wish they could have added, I feel like if they added a true green, maybe some yellows, like a yellow gold, just a few more pops of color, and I think this palette would have been golden. It's honestly just the biggest con to me about this palette, but I will demo this palette for you. I do 2 looks. So here are the 2 looks. I'm currently working on swatches and I do post them on my Instagram, so I will probably post them there. If I'm being quite honest, these palettes don't swatch that amazing. The shimmers do and the glitters do, but the mattes never really look that beautiful even when you build them up. But I love the way they perform on the eyes, and it is the same with this one. When I was doing swatches with the purples, I was like, I don't know, like they look kind of patchy. They felt very soft, but they just looked a little bit streaky. But honestly, they just blend so good and they're so easy to build up, and they're becoming some of my favorite mattes. So I will have swatches up. I do have like some blue. I'm doing them in groups of 10. So that is for the love of glitter. I do up close product shots and swatches as well. So if you want to go check out my Instagram, it's just for the love of glitter. I'll swatch a few of you. So here is the multi-chrome. It feels so good. You barely have to touch it. And this thing shifts from green to pink. Like, it looks metallic. Do you see that? I mean, it looks like chrome. This one is a really pretty one called Money. I don't even know if I've honestly swatched this one yet. But oh yeah, so it's like teal, just super shiny. These ones don't feel as like slippery as the multi-chrome. It feels a little bit different. And we will also swatch 419. This orangey, I don't know if it's glitter. It is a glitter. Is it glitter? I have not swatched this one yet. It's like an orange glitter. These glitters, by the way, after I swatch them, I have such a hard time getting them off. Like, they stick in place. So pretty. So a lot of really cool, unique shades in here. Dope. I really do like Dope. I did use this one in. This one's more of like a metallic blue. Some of the mattes did swatch honestly really well. I haven't swatched all of them yet, so I don't know how they all perform. It's mainly like the blue ones that perform kind of like, doesn't look that great, but they performed really well. So I'm just going to take a few of these and just, there's the pink one. I haven't even swatched that one yet, so I don't know. That one doesn't look too bad. This blue one, so okay. See how it looks a little bit kind of just, see, it just doesn't look that great, but it does work. It works. But that teal, that teal was intense and good. All right, let's go ahead and get into this demo. Starting off using my tried and true, the e.l.f. Eye Putty Primer, and I use this in every tutorial. This is in the shade Rose. As you can see, it's been used a lot. Like I always say, it is a more sticky base formula, so it is a little bit more difficult to blend the shadows, but I find that it works with most pigments nowadays, and it's just what I tend to like to use. I like that it sticks it down, but then it tends to help it blend a little bit more flawless. I'm gonna move my bangs out of the way. I am so excited to dive into these colors. I'm not quite sure what I want to start off with. I know I for sure have to use the multi-chrome. I think we're actually gonna start off. We're gonna start off with this beige. It is called Lit. We're gonna go in there. We are gonna do, there is no mirror in here, unfortunately. That always makes me kind of sad, but it's okay. So this is pretty pigmented for my skin tone. I feel like if you are a darker skin tone, this would be a good brow bone shade. I'm sorry, because for me, this is dark enough for a transition type of color. We're also gonna probably bring that down below for now. Next, we actually are going to go into this shade Lust. It is a nice teal color. I haven't swatched all of these. I've only done 10 of the shades so far, and I'm posting them in groups of 10 on my Instagram, so those will be up. I just love the way Juvia's Place mattes perform. So they honestly don't swatch all the time the most amazing. But the purple one that I recently reviewed was kind of the same way. It was just like, it looked patchy and like it just wasn't that great. I don't know how this one looks swatched. This one could swatch perfectly fine, but then the blend on it and the building, it was honestly perfect. It's this deep teal color. This one's called, ooh, Egg Balmy. Egg Balmy. I know I'm pronouncing these wrong, and I apologize. I don't know how to pronounce them. So this one is darker, but I am using a blending brush, so obviously it's like not packing on a ton of pigment at once, which honestly sometimes for deeper colors you don't want to go in full right away, but these are so buildable. They're so good. I'm kind of obsessed with their mattes. They're so user-friendly to me and very little fallout. We're gonna go ahead and put that flake in the center. This is that multi-chrome. I think it'll perform just fine. If it will pick up on a brush, we'll see. Watch the magic. Are you ready? We can try packing it on with our finger. It's really slick and soft, so probably would pick up even better with our finger, but I mean, it works really well either way. So I just gotta show you on my finger the craziness. Like, it looks like chrome on my finger, and I barely tapped it. Before I put anything under my eye, I'm going to take this Pixie, it's called Endless Shade Stick, and I'm going to rub it on my lower lash line just so the pigments have something extra to help deepen the base to stick to. I think first we're going to go into Yab, which is this more pinky toned mauve color. And then we're going to take ASAP. That shade right there. Yeah. Barely touched it with my pencil brush. Oh my gosh, that is like a super Aldoba Pigmented Dark Brown. That one I'd probably be a little bit scared to fall out just because I barely tapped it in and a lot came off. And then we're going to go into, I think, for funsies, we're going to go into Oya, which looks like a shimmery brown. Oh, that's pretty. I mean, it's basically the same. It's like deeper almost than the last brown I used. I almost feel like we need to tie the teal back in. I think I'm going to go into the shade Venom and see what it looks like on the inner parts. Because again, we're playing and we're just, you know. Okay, oh, that is a pretty shade too. Alright, let's go ahead and put our stuff on and finish up this eye and start the other one. I ended up actually just taking that duochrome all the way across. I honestly don't know how much I love it paired with these teals. They ended up being more blue than I thought. I wish there was kind of more of a true deep foresty green that didn't pull so blue. It's pretty, but I think I would really like the duochrome in a more neutral look, so like with these shades. So maybe when I do a more looks with this palette in the future, I will try using the duochrome, the multi-chrome that way, just because I feel like it just kind of gets lost when it's with these teals. It's just not as, I feel like it just doesn't get to give it its proper show that it really needs, because it is really gorgeous. There is that. Let's get into the next look. For the next look, we are going to start off with the shade Wicked, which is this blue color. I think we're gonna test out more of the blues. That is my 2-year-old probably refusing to take a bath or shower. It's bedtime. He's laughing. He sounds like he's crying, but he's actually laughing. That's my child laughing. I love how these shades blend. Honestly, they're just so easy to use, which is why I was so excited to try this palette. We're gonna go into Dream, which is this cool cobalt blue right here. It almost looks purple. There's some, it's really weird because they did all matte blues and no matte purples, which I thought was kind of strange, but I guess that just means that the Royal Nubian that I just got would pair very well with it. I think those would work really well together. So this royal blue, this like cobalt blue, there's nothing wrong with it, but I don't know how deep you could get it without like a deeper base. I think this is one you'd really have to pack on to really build up that deep blue intensity. It's not like bad, but let me try a kind of shadery brush. Yeah, so this is like the shader side of my brush, and it picked it up very nicely and packs it on there very well. But when I use like a blending brush, definitely a little bit harder to get pigment on there. Sometimes you just have to play with shadows, see what works best. But we're gonna go into Dope first. It does seem to have a purpley type of shift, but they all kind of do. So we're gonna go on that one. These are all very creamy and their shimmers work really well for me, so we're just gonna use our finger there. Oh my gosh. I mean, like, I swatched it and it swatched amazingly, but you know, it was a swatch, a finger swatch, so I didn't know what to expect, but that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I think we're just gonna go ahead with one of the silvers for now, and we're gonna use Greed right here. I feel like these silvers are very similar, to be honest. It's vibrant, and then we're gonna take this color here called Shakara, I guess, which is like a pearly white, and we're gonna put that on the inner corner. And you can't really even tell much of a difference between the pearly whites and the grays because they're just so similar. Maybe since we did the silver, we'll go with the silver called Globe right there. I guess we'll just start here, slowly pack some there, and just like that. Just like that. These are pretty good glitters, like they stick really well. And just slowly kind of pat that out to try and get some spread out a little bit more. I wanted to do something different on the lower lash line, but I don't really know what. I guess we'll go in just with a purple sparkly shade, because why not? So we're gonna use Amiibo. I don't know if that's what's called, I'm so sorry. Sorry if I'm saying this completely wrong. This is the same brush I used for the glitter, so if some glitter's coming off, that would be why. I do wish there was like a lighter, more duochrome-y shade. There kind of is, like the white does have some, there's a white that has a little bit of gold, but just like they could have made a lighter duochrome shade and it just would have been better. I don't know. I'll be back. If you're like, you're gonna end this review with a bunch of glitter and rhinestones on your eyes, I would have been like, you're so funny. I don't think this is a necessity for your collection. I think this is for someone who loves to play with different textures and different colors, or you just want to try new textures, new colors. I think it's a great holiday palette because you do have some great glitters and some very flashy shades in here. I almost feel like the two little palettes they recently came out with are great additions to this palette. So I feel like even though there's so many blues, there's not very many actual purples in this palette, or yellows. I don't have the yellow one, but I feel like they would be great additions to this palette. Like I could see myself using some of the purples from this one and combining a cool look together. And I could see if you had the yellow palette, some cool things you could do with this as well. I think this is more for someone who wants to experiment, do some fun, cool looks. I mean, there's not that much neutralness going on, but if you're into duochromes, pressed glitters, and multi-chromes, then I think this is for you, because you get 1, 2, 3, 4. You get 4 pressed glitters, you get 1 multi-chrome, and then you get a plethora of duochromes. The only downfall, again, is that you do have some very similar shades. I don't really know why they did that, but other than that, I don't have any complaints. I've really enjoyed using Juvia's Place, and I want to do a 3 looks or a 2 looks, 1 palette with this one, because it is pretty inspiring to me. I see a lot of different looks you could create, even though there's a lot of blues in here. Obviously they'd be a lot of blue or teal looks, because that's what mainly makes up this palette. I do want to try the multi-chrome with kind of just a more neutral look, like the brown. Again, I wish they did like an actual like grungy green or like a forest green to kind of pair with this, or I don't know. I just wish there were a few more options other than all these grays and all these blues. But other than that, I like it. Let me know, do you plan on picking this up? I will leave the link down below if you are interested in purchasing it. But I do think that it might be one that a lot of people who love makeup might pick up, especially since there is a multi-chrome in it. So just keep that in mind. And thank you so much for watching. Please thumbs up this video if it was helpful to you. If you want to go see swatches, go check out my Instagram. And you guys have a great day. Bye.